Okay, so we are on our third jumping series, which is side-lying jumps. I had to think about that. Side-lying jumps, and we're gonna be on one blue spring. We wanna be really light for this because we wanna have lots of hang time to challenge our abductors a little bit more. Because we're lying on our sides, you wanna have a yoga block. I have a towel on the yoga block just for cleanliness, but you're gonna put that yoga block right on the headrest. I'm gonna lie on my side, shoulder on top of shoulder, hip on top of hip. I've got my back knee bent with my foot kind of, with the heel kind of drawn towards my sit bone and my toe, my ankle plantar flexed, so that I don't risk kind of banging it on the cardio tramp here. So shoulder on top of shoulder, hip on top of hip. And I like to have my clients start by pressing out with the heel down, and then I tell them just to reach a little bit, just to push into their heel to get a little bit more length, because you really want them to focus on keeping both sides of the torso equally long and not kind of collapsing like this. Do you see how I don't have my mouse house anymore? I've kind of rolled my top hip backwards, and it's not great for the back, and you won't be working the appropriate muscles. So you want them to be kind of lifting, you want their hips to be stacked, their shoulders to be stacked, and you want them to be connecting into their ribs and working through their obliques to maintain that mouse house here. Okay, we've got parallel jumps, parallel with abduction, and then we have obliques on our forearm. So we're gonna just inhale. It's okay, so I let them kind of wind up on the first one and let their heel lift off, but then that heel must hit the cardio tramp. But then for the consecutive jumps, they're only allowed to bend their knee as far as they can keep their heel down. Okay, so that's kind of my rule for getting into this exercise here. So pulling the abdominals in, inhale, bend the knee, exhale, push through the heel and land. Push through the heel, so about 10 to 20 of each. I'm only gonna do these on one side for video purposes. Now, one thing you do wanna watch is the alignment of the knee over the second and third toe. And you wanna watch that people stay parallel. They do start to kind of turn their knees up towards the ceiling, and that's not working their abductors anymore. Cue them to squeeze their sit bones together and to think of drawing their tailbone long or reaching it across the room. Zipping up through the abs and still focusing on widening the collarbone and stabilizing the shoulder blades. 4 more for 4 and 3. Check in with that mouse house. That's just my shirt, don't worry. And now we're gonna add that little bit of abduction. Now it is not a high kick. You're gonna see your clients wanna do that. It's actually a small kick up with a slight medial rotation. So have them turn their knee down slightly, lift their heel up slightly, and really focus on getting into the glute there, glute min and med. One long line. Eight more by my count. Here's 4. They should be feeling it, I sure am. And 2. And 1. All right. So from here, we're gonna start to challenge our shoulders and our obliques a little bit. So for this exercise, you do wanna kind of scooch down to the edge of the carriage as much as possible. And you won't need the yoga block anymore, but you can kind of leave it there. But I'm gonna just move it for 1 second, so I want you to see where my hand is. So I'm gonna hold on to the shoulder rail here and angle my elbow this way. So some people find that they're a little more stable by doing it like this, but notice that my shoulder is still over my elbow. Taller people aren't going to be able to do it like this. Taller people are going to need, they're going to need to come this way, okay? But I'm 5'4", so I get to do it this way. But you do want their hips really close to the edge of the carriage, or else it's just not going to work very well, okay? All right, so that bottom knee is going to be bent. Now here's the other magical thing, is you don't want them sinking into their shoulder and into their rib cage. So we're eventually going to jump in this position with 2 legs, but we got to train them to learn how to stabilize with their obliques and their lats. So we're going to start by jumping with just 1 leg. So hand can be here or here, but the main thing is they're staying connected. We're going to inhale to prepare, exhale, jump, squeeze the abs and jump, squeeze the abs and jump. So lots of work in the core here, in the shoulder girdle. I mean, there are worse ways to work your core. Nice and tight through the center. And 5 more. And 4. 3, pushing through the elbow. 2. And 1. And then you're going to do all of that to the other side.